just expecting like a good parable written by you, but also I was like, well, this is some seriously good financial advice that I've never heard before. So I gotta start, man, I gotta start investing. And yeah, so yeah. Oh, what I really wanted to ask you about was the writing process of the Hidden Heist. What was the writing process for this book like? And which part of the final book are you most excited for readers and listeners to experience on the 16th?
Boy, that's such a great question. The writing process itself, when I'm writing with a co-author, and of my four books, three of them I've done with co-authors. When I'm doing that, the writing process is usually something where we're taking some principles that they teach in a nonfiction world, and then we're wanting it to connect with their audience in a much different way, a much more, I don't know, emotional way maybe. And so what I'll do is I'll write the fiction. And you know this because we've known each other a while now. My goal in writing fiction is basically, or a parable is to write the fiction that is so strong that even if people weren't going to learn anything, they'd love the book because the story's that good. It's got twists and turns and surprises and all of that. And then my second goal with it is to write characters that are so just broadly human, so flawed and just fascinating, and do it in such a way that the reader falls in love with the character, but also that they don't teach the lessons like somebody's watching a PowerPoint. They live these lessons and they learn them and they go through that. So that's my goal. The process with Bill, when I'm working with any co-author, that I will do a lot of interviewing with them. I'll do a lot of to find out exactly what the messages we're trying to do. Then I go into crafting. And I will always have some sort of an outline, but I don't let it handcuff me. It's there to give me some direction because I generally have a pretty good feel for the rhythm I want a book to do. I know how I want it to kind of increase and drop down a little bit and how I want it to twist and maybe surprise the reader, that kind of thing. But I'll start with an outline, but then with me, it's research. Oh, and I did a ton of research on this one because of two reasons. Number one, I've never been in a bank robbery. And number two, the financial lessons, I have done well in most cases with my finances, but this was Bill's wheelhouse when it comes to that. And so it was a combination of trying to do all that, but doing that first draft, getting it on paper, as our mutual friend John David Mann, our mutual mentor, John David Mann says, write drunk, edit sober. Now, he doesn't mean that literally, although there's been a time or two I maybe took it too literally. But I'll get everything on the paper. And then I'll go when I start the editing process and the rewrite, that's when I start cutting it down. In the case when you have a co-author, I'll send things back and forth quite often. Usually I'll do the first three or four chapters, send that to them, and then after that I try to go into a bit of a cocoon because you can overwhelm a co-author. You and I know how many times we read our manuscripts, and that can be overwhelming for a co-author. So I try to limit that for them.